We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Wow, it's getting truly embarrassing. Anthony Joshua, fresh out of rematches, blames this overtraining in his second loss in a row. He's had 3 losses in his last 5 fights. Was it overtraining that caused Anthony Joshua to lose to Alexander Usyk of Ukraine? Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. And so it has begun. Anthony Joshua, he continues. You know, he was asked some of the difficult questions after his second loss in a row to Alexander Usyk. And this is what Joshua says, quote, "It wasn't good enough. I adapted and I made changes needed to give him a more competitive fight. It wasn't enough." Not so bad so far, but this is what Anthony Joshua continued to say. "I left everything in the gym. If I had left everything in the ring, I would have won." Wow. I'm gonna read that again. "It wasn't good enough. I adapted and I made changes needed to give him a more competitive fight, and it wasn't enough. I left everything in the gym. If I had left everything in the ring, I would have won." So I don't even know, like which is very rare for me to be at a loss for words, but it's getting real ridiculous with Joshua, these excuses when he loses. It's a lot of coulda, shoulda, and woulda when he loses, and he's saying everything but, in my opinion, the truth. You got outwitted, you got outskilled by a craftier, sharpshooter, skilled southpaw, and gold medalist in Alexander Usyk. You know, and to me, Joshua's post-fight behavior and demeanor has been pretty pathetic, and I think it's really not becoming of who Joshua has been built up. And I'll explain more of that throughout this video. That's why you guys got to stay tuned to the end. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. Alexander Usyk, what can I say? Terrific fighter and a consummate professional. I mean, Usyk is a guy who, he doesn't really complain. Like, he's always jovial, talking, joking, dancing. You didn't really hear about him complaining to any of the terms. And mind you, Alexander Usyk already beat Anthony Joshua in Joshua's backyard of the UK, right? So he could have been big-headed, because we've seen that. Like, look at the lightweight division. When Teofimo Lopez defeated Vasyl Lomachenko, it's almost like you couldn't tell him anything. And then when George Kambosos Jr. took the trip to New York and beat Teofimo Lopez Jr. in his backyard, then you couldn't tell George Kambosos anything. It's like, you know, their head, they were on the moon, cloud 9 or whatever, right? We didn't really see this from Usyk. Usyk, despite going to Joshua's backyard, being a road warrior, he stepped up, beat him, and gladly accepted the rematch. So the second fight was based on a technicality, because we know Eddie Hearn, Barry Hearn, and Rematch Room. That's why I call them Rematch Room, because they definitely do a lot of rematches and recycling of the same fighters, but also because you can rest assured in their bigger fights, they are putting a rematch clause in that fight. Now, if the person does like Canelo, hey, get the payday, you want payday, I know that, you know, and chooses to duck Dimitri Bivol or not, that remains to be seen. But this was Joshua's golden opportunity to set the record straight with the smaller former cruiserweight Alexander Usyk of the Ukraine, and show that he had what it takes to beat him. And unfortunately, he came up short, or unfortunate for him. You know, I can't say unfortunate for boxing, because the right man won. So for Joshua to come up with all these various basically excuses, it's always something. And the beauty of what I do right here, I know I'm the greatest that's ever lived when it comes to delivering this boxing news on YouTube and in a digital infrastructure. I know it, and you know it too. And the great thing about what I do and being blessed to be a part of this boxing community on YouTube is everything. There's a track record for everything that I put out. All my works, you could go watch videos from 5 years ago, 8 years ago. You know, it's all here. My body of work is on here, right? So I made videos leading up to the fight, before the outcome. I told you I was picking Usyk. I told you why. Virtually everything I said in those videos came true. But beyond that, Joshua, I made videos about some of the like wonky stuff he was saying before the rematch even took place. And he was saying stuff, I don't know if my conditioning is good. We'll find out on Saturday. And then we found out, and it looked the same. In the back half of the fight, he has stamina issues. So that was a horrible statement that didn't age well. He also said excuses in terms of why he lost the first fight at home. And he blamed it on that he was trying to outbox Alexander Usyk. And he wasn't trying to, quote, hurt Alexander Usyk. So this looks very bad. And all of these statements have aged horrifically for Joshua. Because, okay, let me take you at face value at what you said, even though I don't believe that. But let me just, take what you said and consider it. Like, I'll put my shoe on the other foot and pretend what you said is believable. You only lost to Usyk in the first fight because you weren't trying to hurt him. You wanted to show the world that you can outbox him, which sounds insane if you really think about it. It sounds completely ridiculous. Why would you take a fellow Olympic gold medalist who's smaller than you, and he's known to have better footwork than you, and he's a southpaw, and all you have to do is win under the bright lights? Floyd Mayweather told you that. So you have this awesome opportunity to use your size, use your brute force and power and longer arms, etc., and use these things to, on a given night, defeat your opponent. And you decide and elect, hey, I'm gonna get in the ring and I want to prove that I can outbox him. Okay, fine enough. Even though that doesn't sound like a great game plan to me, but that's what he's saying he did under the guise of and the guidance of Rob McCracken. So that's a foolish game plan for starters for a fellow Olympic gold medalist. You're going to try to outbox the better boxer, whatever, right? So taking what you said with a grain of salt, you've already burnt that card up. You've already used that excuse. You were merely trying to outbox him. So if you listen to all the experts and you listen to Joshua and, people around him, everybody was saying ahead of the fight, before we got an outcome, they were saying that Anthony Joshua needs to back Usyk up, use his 6'6" frame, use his power, thudding shots, body shots, break the smaller man down, right? And mind you, as I just mentioned, he already used the excuse of, I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was trying to go toe to toe and, be a ballerina and show the world I could outbox him and outwit him, which is foolish because that is never any point in boxing should you be trying to fight down to, have a pissing contest when you can just beat someone with the attributes that you have. That's like if I was fighting Zab Judah and I'm trying to show the world I have more speed than him and that's not my bag. It's okay. If Zab Judah is faster than me, he's faster than me. I'm not going to try to have a shootout in the speed contest with the southpaw who's quicker than me just for ish and giggles. Nonetheless, this is what Joshua is claiming that he did. So he said, I try to outbox the master boxer who's smaller and faster and better and skilled and southpaw, right? Whatever. So going into the second fight, we knew what Joshua really needed to do, which is push, and drive the smaller man back, try to knock him out. And basically, that's what Team Joshua said was the game plan. Rough him up, bully the smaller guy. He's 6'3", you're 6'6", you have longer arms, you're definitely stronger. So beat him up, whoop his ass. And now Joshua is saying something completely different. He said, I couldn't leave it all in the ring. And if I did, I would have won. I left it all in the gym. So you're basically making it sound like you overtrained and overcommitted to your gym duties and preparation. And that's why you lost. I mean, this is just pathetic. Again, he says, if it wasn't good enough, I adapted and I made changes needed to give him a more competitive fight, and it wasn't enough. I left everything in the gym. If I had left everything in the ring, I would have won. I mean, who says that? That's like saying, oh, if I would have knocked this person out, I would have won. I mean, this is common sense. If you would have did multiple things different in any fight, as the loser, you can say, this and that would have happened. The bottom line is you had a second crack at it. You fought the man. You had a different coach, which is Robert Garcia and his team, and none of it worked. Some of the same flaws were same things that he struggled with. Some of the same things that Usyk did were present in the rematch. So, as I've stated, this looks bad for Joshua because at the end of the day, there's really nothing he can say but more excuses as to why he lost. And on top of that, the meltdown and the little tirade at the end, it just looks bad. It looks bad. You've already went through you've already had your get out of jail card. First, you try to outbox him. Now you're saying you overtrained for the fight. I mean, where does it end, Susan? Where does it end? We unpack. Let me know how I did in this video. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. I'm clearly the best in the business. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.